The damage you see right here is leaving Pit Grill employees wondering if they'll have a job. Family and friends of the two female victims that went missing back in 1989 is finally receiving closure as RPSO heats up a cold case. Despite the tornado damage, borough residents and town hall officials are looking at brighter days ahead. Although it will be months before the town will be restored, the mayor is thankful no one was hurt. Good news for 17-year-olds arrested for nonviolent crimes. The Louisiana justice system has raised the age. Unfortunately, you're right, Skylar. During these brutal winter days, many locals are without shelter, which means they're left surviving the cold. It was a typical day in the neighborhood for Donald Jones when he was stopped by Police Chief Julius Mays for riding his lawnmower along this road. Jones says all he wanted to do was get gas and cut his daughter's yard. Unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to do so. Allegedly, Chief Mays had his lawnmower towed because he thought Jones was using it for transportation instead of a car. Jones tells me that was not the case.
When he stopped me and took my lawnmower, saying I would use it for public transportation all the time, I'm telling him I was going to the post office, come back, fill up with gas, and go mow my yard.
Jones says this isn't just a lawnmower, but this is how he made extra income for he and his wife.
I want my lawnmower back because that was my living, and I got all this yard here to mow.
Char Thomas, ABC 31 News, that works for you. Close to his family, especially his grandmother, Timothy Bucky Tarver, would be the last person they would expect to go missing.
Bucky was a very loving and affectionate person, needy almost. That's why I know he didn't just walk away on his own.
Last seen in March, Tarver's grandmother, Norma Tarver, says the last time they spoke, he was scared for his life, almost as if someone was after him.
I kept calling on the phone, calling him for several days, trying to get him to answer. The phone would ring, but no answer.
Not a
8 months
number.
later, still
Please check
no
the number
answer.
and dial again.
I'm just very emotional about it.
I mean, that's just what's the most bothersome, knowing that he could just be, someone just discarded him. And if anybody knew Bucky, he did not like being alone.
The family just wants Tarver to come back home alive. But if he doesn't, they want to lay him to rest with the peace of knowing where he is. Char Thomas, ABC 31 News, that works for you.
She hit me, I was like, I'm going to die. Like, I really thought I was going to die.
After complaining for over 3 years about the traffic flow through Tioga Road, Kimberly Kriske got a phone call that she had been praying she would never get.
It took something to happen to my daughter. It took something to happen to my daughter to catch people's attention now? What else is it going to take? Are we going to put our heads together now and finally do something? Or is it going to take another incident to happen? And the next time, it may not be so lucky.
On Tuesday morning, when Kimberly's daughter, Lakin Kriske, arrived to school, she had no idea she would be hit by a car. While laying in shock, Lakin says it was all a blur, but had these thoughts on her mind.
I was like, there's so many things I didn't say, so many things I didn't do, and it's like, that's so crazy. Like, it could have been over in like 2 seconds, If I would have taken like 2 steps forward.
Although she survived the accident, it left her with a black eye and bruises.
I've been kind of like reckless driving in the parking lot, and I don't want anybody else's lives to be in danger. I just feel like people need to pay attention to this kind of thing because anybody could have gotten hurt. I'm glad it was me because I can handle this kind of thing, but it could have been anybody else, and it could have been even more fatal than what happened to me,
Mrs. Kriske says she would like to see a police unit in the 3 school zones. We did reach out to Superintendent Jeff Powell, but he was not in town to speak on the matter. In Ball, Char Thomas, ABC 31 News. Local business owner and father, Stephen Chark Sr., has had enough of the murders.
I took it upon myself because we all are leaders, and I took it upon myself to say, you know what, I'm going to speak for the people.
And discuss what he did, Char took to Facebook asking the public if they know anything about the recent murders to come forward. The concerned citizen says he was expecting elected officials to step up and inform the public on the recent crimes. But that day didn't come soon enough for Char.
What I'm hoping is the parish as a whole can come together and say, you know what, it's time out for the foolishness. We have an issue and we truly don't know how to address it. So let's get some community leaders and some parents and some concerned citizens together, and let's take our city back.
Char Thomas, ABC 31 News, that works for you.